We also did not take the 5 shots that
It was 4.
Oh, no.
Because we took
And I
one.
went up to 5.
How did
But
it go?
we'll spread.
It wasn't
me.
me, it was you.
Yeah,
Three you to me.
I don't know if that's
We'll spread. No, we ain't got to do it right
not-
now.
we're
We'll
not
spread
doing
it across the week. I
But
ain't gonna do it like that.
thank you guys for coming back for another episode of More to the Story. I am Farron Moore.
And I'm to hear more. And we still got our special guests in the house. My family's in the building.
Yes.
Irvin James Williams III.
Sir, I knew it.
James
Sir
Williams
Irvin
the third.
James.
What you won't do.
And we got Dana Kelly here.
He didn't even acknowledge it.
You don't have to. I did.
Dana Kelly here.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I guess this is part 2 to last week's episode, you guys.
You had another question.
Yes, about just how to navigate not liking your partner's friends or their friends not liking you. We in the last episode we talked a lot about just how just personal experiences with those things, because so go back and listen to the stories about the people we didn't like and whatnot. We didn't drop any names, so don't be trying to be messy and
Right.
there's somebody sitting
I
at
actually
home
wanna add
with
to
pictures
this.
and red yarn trying to connect dots and shit. Don't do that.
I don't have. I know what I said last episode, but
Let me finish. Can
Go
I
ahead.
go back to the question, or you saying something
Yeah, that was
different?
talking about- I was going back to the
okay.
question.
So the question we ended on last episode was whether or not I've had any friends that Tahir did not care for.
and I don't think you did, honestly.
Because I'm a great judge of fucking character.
All right.
It was the voice. I'm a great judge of fucking character.
great judge of fucking character. I mean, I'm
no,
dope
all
and
shoot the wrong
you
dice
are, you are. But also, like you really didn't introduce me to anyone outside of Jermo.
Were you ashamed
And
of him?
I kind of already knew her from her brother.
I don't know. Oh, so you're calling her by her brother's name, actually.
Oh, I forgot her
So
last
that's the
name.
only person I really kind of introduced you
That's
to,
hilarious.
which is a little funny because you actually knew my best friend in high school before we knew each other.
Yes.
So you knew her and her brother first, like kind of not closely, but you knew them.
Yeah.
Because
And you knew
that's
Liberty.
how-
She knew the girl
Yes.
that said I had a baby.
I used to
by
like
her.
legit
They went to school
like.
together. She would see me come up there
Wow.
to meet Liberty to go get my kid.
So
and then get
I
on the
found
bus.
out his name from the friend that you were just talking about.
So you plotted.
Can I ask a question?
I didn't plot
Say,
anything.
who's
You
that
didn't
sexy?
know any of your friends. Is it because you were ashamed of him? It's okay to say it now because you guys have been together so
Ain't
long.
that a bitch? Hold on.
Just sit back.
No,
We're having
I
a-
would never.
Just-
I
Listen,
introduced
woman.
him to a friend at. It was some nightclub in St. Louis. Can't remember the name of it at the time, but
Spruce.
I don't know what that is. But I feel
never
like
Jesus.
Have ever set foot in Spruce
I
in my
have.
life.
it was
I'ma tell
kind
you
of
why that's a
diagonal
lie.
from the club.
Me?
Was that club
Yes.
called Dante?
We went to
or
see Pimp
Seven
C
or
there.
Oh,
something?
7.
It was kind of diagonal to it.
Oh, the loft.
The Loft.
Yes, that makes
So
sense.
I was at the Loft for a birthday party or something, and so you came up to meet me, and I introduced you to like a friend then, but we've never like come across that person again since.
Okay.
So it's like it was really because, and I've said a million times to on this show that family was so much to me that it was like I took friendships for granted.
Yeah.
Because I was like I'm close to my sister. I'm
Yeah.
close, like this is my unit.
She really
I
didn't
didn't-
have a lot of
I
friends.
didn't have a ton of friends.
That's why
Your
I like.
family
That's,
was your unit.
that's what I liked
Yes.
about it. I was like, oh, she ain't finna be in these streets. Let me go ahead and knock her down real quick.
Shoot up the
Run her
club. Pew,
mouth.
pew, pew,
No.
pew.
And then he gets me, and he's
That
like,
was a
"This bitch
reenactment
always
of our
trying to be out in the club dancing.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't trying to be nobody's friend. I ain't trying to be chosen. I just want to be in the club, just twerking, like,
Twerking.
just
She do it all the time. at the
just
refrigerator,
dancing
the
hard.
refrigerator.
There's a time I sweat. I heard somebody say like, "Oh, once I sweat, I'm done." I'm like,
Nah.
I'm dancing to
Till I
sweat.
sweat.
Like I'm trying. I want my
Dripping.
legs sore in the morning. Like that's
She
how hard I'm
really
going
goes
when
hard.
I go out.
Yeah.
When I go-
If I don't walk out
Yes.
the
Doing
bed
this.
like this, I didn't do it.
Yes,
right.
like if it wasn't one point of the night, I was the center of attention. Everybody just standing around watching me dance.
Go,
and
Barry.
I have
Go,
failed.
Barry.
I have failed. Like,
Is she
Look
doing
at
Is she
me.
doing the running, man?
look at me. Look at all these moves I've been practicing. But no, seriously.
Look at all these moves I've been practicing. TikTok ain't got shit on me.
Right.
I will say that I think it was only one person that I didn't really rock with or that much that Dana that you talked to, and it was just something that they said. They said some slick shit to me one time, and that just really changed
What they say?
the perception
Do tell us
of the
more.
friendship. And you know about this. It's like
I know. I'll
But
tell
we
it.
don't
Yeah.
know.
I'll tell it. So I didn't realize that this had happened, but like normal, when my brother's in town, my brother can stay at my house. This particular time, though, I'm married at this point, and I found out later that he said, you know, this is my house. You here because I let it happen or some shit like that. That was slick as fuck, first and foremost.
Yeah.
And I would never have condoned that because these are my brothers. And that's what I was actually going to talk about because I wanted to elaborate on that. I have dated people and they was like, well, why are you so close to these men? You know what I mean? And because they are great men, then I have to deal with people who aren't great on the inside, that aren't good to the core, and they get jealous.
We expose, first of all, when you bring people to the light. Like when you are a full-fledged diamond, you can spot a cubic zirconia across the room. And, motherfuckers who are cubic zirconias, they get intimidated by it because you exist. And my boy said this, I'm gonna give him credit. He said, when you are 100 watt light bulb, he told me, he said, Irvin, let me tell you something about yourself that you don't know. He said, when you walk into the room, you don't know what the room look like before you come in. And when you are naturally a 100 watt light bulb, the person that has 80%, they were shining brightly. And you just came in there being yourself and all the energy shifted. It's the same thing when people get around us, the energy shift. And we're so close knit that we had to practice this because we realized that ourselves and part of the crew, we realized that we were isolating people that was in the room because we don't get to be in the room by ourselves. So when we do, we catching up on years of bullshit, trauma, happiness, life events. So we basically like zone the world out. And when people don't have genuine friendships, that's intimidating to them. I guess that's what we're trying to say.
No, that's a real thing. And also when you're not a genuine person.
Yeah.
Like when you have it, when it's innate, right? It comes from the best place you can even think about. People don't have that. A lot of people don't own that.
Yeah.
And so when they see it from someone else, they try to pretend as if they have it. And then it actually catches up with them because they're not that good of a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you don't catch up, persons like myself and my brothers, you're not going to catch them up. You're not going to catch no slick shit because we ain't on no slick shit.
Man, we really don't give a fuck.
We
genuinely don't care. A lot of people don't understand. Like, we'll go to a place and we'll turn that motherfucker down. Like we'll have a time of our life and everybody loves us and they want us to come back. I remember people asking us to come to their party just so
we can have a
just
BM,
that.
they got a better
But
party.
here's the thing, though. Like, and this is the thing. So people see me out, they see me in the videos and all that, and they be like, oh, man, Tahir must be crazy to live around and all that type of stuff. When I'm at home, I'm the most chill motherfucker ever.
We
'Cause
talked
I ain't gotta
about
be
that.
home, right? I got, like, she and the kid keep me entertained for hours on end, right?
Yeah.
But it's the same thing when I'm with them. Like, when we out, we turned up. We gonna be the life of the party. You gonna look at us, you gonna like, man, I wish I was their friend. But when we have literally all been in one hotel room together, everybody's on their computer working, and we didn't say shit for an hour and a half.
And it's
When nobody mad at
okay.
each other,
Yeah.
we were in our space.
We was sitting in
the
silence.
synergy was so good. It was like, I'm excited to be in my friend's presence, and that's all we need. That's when I was doing Tough Mudder. Y'all
Yep.
came down there.
Yep.
That was all we needed, was just to be in each
Yeah.
other's company. And people don't realize or recognize that that's a genuine connection, and you don't have to do all that extra rah-rah
Or
shit.
fill
Yeah.
the room with empty rhetoric. Like,
But
you don't have that
Right.
time.
I also want
That's
to say
the
this
worst.
because I get a bad rep for having my brothers. Like he just said, we would be in the same hotel room and we would travel together and all that kind of stuff. And as a woman, no man sees you traveling with other men and spending nights in the same room. Ain't nothing funny going on. You know, I get the rep for being like, oh, you with these niggas that's doing all this thing. Yes, we support each other.
So, and you know
We
what?
going
It was
100 miles
because
down the
I
highway
had
for
met
this.
you and I saw your energy and I saw your relationship and I was like, there's nothing threatening there. I'm 100% fine. Like, fine. So it wasn't even, the point of me just being like, I don't want no woman around. It was like, no, the energy. the energy, because he still has some female friends that I'm like, I'm fine. I know her. I know her energy. I know how she is towards me. We're good. But there's other ones where I'm like, there's something else there. And he's like, no, such and such and such. Like, she ain't thinking about me. And I'm like, I guarantee you, offer her that dick. I guarantee you she'll take it. I guarantee
Say it again in the voice you
she'll
just
take
offer
it.
her that dick.
Offer her the dick. I guarantee
her
you
that
she'll
dick.
take
got
it.
some side
I
of
know
dick.
women.
I don't know.
I had a
If
side
I
of
use
it.
this
I
side.
just wanted to see. I know.
Side of it.
But here's the thing.
Like,
Here's another thing
I
about that.
know.
Another
No,
thing
you
about
would
that
know, though.
thing with Dana, like some of the guys that was talking crazy to her about this shit are the same guys that wouldn't do half the shit that we like. We look at Dana like a real sister. Like
Facts.
if one of us is with her, she don't open her door.
Facts.
She don't pump her own gas.
Facts.
If her kids is talking crazy, we step in. Hey, you talking
Facts.
to your mama like that? Her kids have multiple daddies because me and Irvin on top of their real daddy.
Yeah.
Like it ain't no like that's our fucking sister. And so some of the same niggas with these same insecurities weren't even doing this shit.
Yep.
You're not even opening her door. You're not pumping her gas for her. You're not.
Or they
checking,
just
hey,
start
how many
doing it
girls
till they
good?
saw us
I
do
was
it.
gonna say, wait
Exactly.
a minute. They open the doors. They do those types of things, but innately. Like we're talking about the internal.
That
we're talking
part.
about the inside.
Yes.
The insides needed work.
Yeah.
Like you can't pretend. You can't be out here just giving the perception of being a real ass dude.
Yeah.
You're not a real ass dude.
Yeah.
So I like
Don't even know
what
trash
you-
day Tuesday.
Don't even know trash day Tuesday. That was personal as fuck right there.
was.
I
That baby
feel like
needs
they
a hug.
came from like a
It
real
did.
That was a
place
call.
It's still
there.
fresh.
It's still
It's still fresh.
Buying healthy bags of 30 gallons and I got a 15-gallon trash
You
can.
hear me?
I love that. I mean, I love that you said it, but I also hate that for you.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's not my testimony no more. I'm single as fuck.
She is out here. Fellas, what's your Instagram?
I'll
Fill up these DMs with dick pics. No.
I don't stay in a disrespectful situation. That's disrespect to me. Not knowing my trash day, that's disrespect to me.
Not
I'm
knowing
saying
my
a disrespect. I'm saying
Let
a
me tell you
disrespectful
something.
situation.
Let me say, I had to uplift Farron when she moved out here. She
Oh my
wasn't
God,
used
he's about to.
to me opening her door. She would race me to the fucking car
tells-
to open her
He
own
tells-
door.
What?
I can't see it.
I didn't
walk
have a
slower.
daddy, you guys.
I walk slower.
I
I
didn't
can't
have a
even see it.
dad.
And let me tell you
Didn't have a
this.
dad.
And now
Oh, you didn't?
she will. I will
I mean,
drive
he's alive,
off.
but he wasn't.
Gotcha.
I didn't have him.
I would
I had
drive
two
off
dads.
and leave her on the side of the road if I
Lucky
don't open her
bitch.
door because she would not.
Damn.
Like, you couldn't toss one my way,
I know.
selfish ass.
If I would have known, I would have shared. Sis,
Just
I promise.
greedy. See, that's what I be
that's funny.
talking about. Like, why can't we uplift each other as black people in the community?
If I had known, I would have reached all the way to Illinois.
She's like, you know, I
Belle
hate it
Vegas.
there.
You know,
but-
it's what she calls Belleville. She calls Belleville Belle Vegas.
Why?
Because she thinks it is the bee's knees.
It's
Hell
the bees thing.
Who
No,
thinks that?
okay,
Be
no.
clear. Farron
Real-
thinks that. You know, I don't fucking think
No,
that.
I was talking about Farron.
No, real talk, real
Let's be
talk.
clear.
So I started calling it that because there
Belle
was a
Vegas.
little knick-knack T-shirt store in Belleville's downtown area called Beatniks or some shit, some white shit. And in there they had like instead of the I Love New York, they had the I Heart Belle Vegas shirts, and I was like,
What?
First
Got
of
it.
all, I'm going to call
No,
Belleville
ma'am.
Belle Vegas. for
"Thank
the
you,
rest of my life
friend."
now.
Yes.
From here on out, I'm
Yes.
gonna call it that, but I'm not gonna feel it.
It's acquired. I didn't feel it at first, but now
There you go, man. Let him know.
Never
Now
gonna
I got
feel
it.
Fair
So
enough.
Never
Vegas.
gonna feel
just
that.
call it Belle Vegas. It'll come.
I have never
I'm
heard that
cool.
in my life. Been
Never.
on Vegas,
Yeah.
Never.
stolen.
But also,
Yeah.
I don't hear shit about Illinois, so.
Damn.
Did you put an S on
The
that?
whole
She did put an
state?
S on that. She did.
You don't hear shit about the whole state.
No.
Chicago?
Chicago?
Except for the crime in Chicago.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Have you
Can
heard about the crime
someone
in
who
St.
grew
Louis?
right?
First of all, I'm sorry, I apologize. You're right. A lot of St. Louisans do a lot of their crime in East St. Louis.
First of all, fuck you, girl.
These are facts.
Yes, fuck you. Don't come to our strip clubs
About
here,
to
motherfucker.
say,
Don't come to our strip clubs
First
here.
and foremost, East
First of
St.
all,
Louis is the equivalent of one demolished building, so there's no one's getting away
No
with
one.
anything
See,
in
this
East
is
St.
shit I be
Louis.
talking about because she grew up in Bell Vegas, but her daddy sold dope in East St. Louis. Her daddy sold dope
But
to my uncle.
I also pointed out that I didn't have a dad.
It's
That's
nice
the point
to
of
know.
So
It's nice
yes,
to know
that
your
nigga
roots.
sold dope in East St. Louis, but I also did not really know.
You lived
She
there.
didn't
You lived there
know.
for a little bit. Don't act like you didn't live in East St. Louis for a
It's
little
just
bit
nice
though.
to know your
When
roots.
exactly
At
did I
least
live
you
there?
knew.
Tell me all about
You
it.
told me you lived there till you were like 6 or 8.
I lied.
You lying now?
Right. Nah, stay with that.
You
sis.
know I'm a liar. I lied.
You married a liar. Deal with it. Grow up.
Why
Grow
you
up,
acting so
find
brand
the
new to this
truth.
lying shit? You know who I am.
Right. Exactly.
I give you all these
Exactly.
context clues. Find the truth.
My whole life has been 3 truths and 3 lies and a truth. I've been playing the game wrong. But anyway, so I like what you said in the last episode. If you didn't catch it, go back. So in the last episode, Dana, about not liking one of your spouse's friends and how you're like, I accept them for who they are type of attitude
Yeah,
about it. Is
I
that,
love 'em.
am I? Okay.
Yeah.
She loves them. I can't. But in looking up just information on how to manage that, how to deal with that, I saw WebMD has something to say, and y'all know Psychology Today is my boo, but WebMD had a
What
thing
is
to say.
WebMD saying? 'Cause they
Exactly.
like-
It's like,
They gonna think we
you're
dying.
only good for a symptom checker.
Yeah.
Like, why are you talking about
WebMD
this?
is like
You
the
look at
BD
WebMD,
of-
you're gonna
of
die.
advice.
Right.
They gonna
Like,
tell you you're about to
always-
die.
You always
It's
got
It's always
cancer.
cancer. It's always cancer. on
You got
WebMD.
cancer
You like,
or
my eyelash
COPD.
fell off. You have
whenever you
alopecia.
deal
What?
with WebMD.
It's always cancer, bipolarism.
Yeah.
Like what's it? You said WebMD?
WebMD.
Yeah,
yes.
WebMD is the
WebMD.
BD, the absentee
WebMD had a thing to say about this, and they're like, basically, just accept them, which is difficult for like humans. Like,
No,
we
so
just,
when I say I love them, I love them. I don't have to like them.
okay,
So it's a
But,
difference.
I mean, even with the is cordiality a word? Even with the cordiality of them being
Are
in
we
your
talking
space,
about like being cordial?
yes.
Oh, okay.
With the cordialness,
I don't know that
the
cordiality.
Now
cordiality,
it's cordialness.
cordialness, or
Let me
the
see if that's a word.
It
or the
probably is.
cordial. You don't even know how to spell it. Cordiality of it be.
DIAL.
He's showing out.
I got you, bro.
He's showing out. He act like
You
you
know,
know how to spell
spelling
stuff.
Spelling is hard. Free pub. Pew, 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 pew.
Is cordiality a word?
Yeah, it didn't come up when I tried it the first
It's
time.
not a word, sis. It's
I
just
see
not.
why.
No, cordially. All right, no, cordiality.
Cordiality. I didn't even know.
No,
Wait
it's
till it
because
comes
some
up.
of-
That's
yeah, I was
how
gonna say-
smart.
Yeah.
That's how smart
Cordiality.
your
That
girl
is.
is. That's how
It's
smart
the
your girl
form
is.
of cordial.
Exactly, which is exactly how I use it.
Okay.
So not only
She just didn't want to be wrong. Dana just didn't want to be wrong.
That's true.
She tried to fight it to the fucking end. Did y'all see that shit?
There was no. The cordiality is not.
so
They literally just
the
added it through
cordiality,
Wikipedia to
like, did that leak over to like being in their presence, or did you have to like consciously tell yourself, actively
Oh.
tell yourself, be nice to this person,
No.
watch your facial expressions, watch your tone?
So I never
Like, how
have to
did this
tell
work?
myself to be nice or
I have
watch
to
my
tell
face.
her to watch her face.
No, they do tell me to watch my face,
'Cause
but I
whatever
never
she
have to
thinking
tell
is on her
myself.
face.
First of all, I lead with respect.
Yeah.
I give everybody what I expect. Okay, and so whether I like you or not, I'm giving you everything that I expect you to give me. Okay, so I don't have to watch myself around people. I don't gossip. I don't talk
Yeah.
about persons. Like I don't do all that.
Yeah.
Even though other people would say, "I heard Dana say," you never heard
me say
Dana
that.
say shit. What you did hear, was silence when you told me something.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any response to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, so I think the cordiality.
Cordiality.
Yes.
It's a word.
No, so the cordiality for me is just respect.
Okay.
I'm giving you that energy off the gate, whether I like you or not. Because regardless of whether I like you, I'm gonna respect you and where you are. And that means if you are a shitty individual,
You want me to shitty?
I'm gonna respect you in that space at length. Like the fuck away from me.
I was about to say you're a better person than me, but I see you're
No.
not.
I'm not.
But then you got to understand too, it's not your job to understand somebody else's relationship between the two. Because just because you don't get their relationship doesn't mean that it's not an adequate relationship.
Very true.
You understand what I'm saying?
And that's not even the point I'm touching on. Like, because he's had friends that, you know, he loves and all these things, that in my space, it was like hard for me. It was like a conscious and a deliberate intention to not be nasty
Yeah,
to them
yeah.
because
That's a lot.
I can't hide how I
Heavy.
feel.
Yeah.
Whatever I feel is going to come out in my facial expressions, my body language, like
tone.
it's my tone. It's going to come out whether or not I'm actively trying to hide it.
I'm gonna tell you.
So you have
So-
to find your zero fucks.
So that's why exactly. So I had gotten to a point where like when I first moved here, and you know, I was like, do not invite me in the space with them because I can't control what
Yeah.
I
I
do.
actually remember
And
you
then
saying
once
that
I finally
before.
got to a place where I was like, oh yeah, I could be fake as fuck. So
I'm in LA.
this.
That's all they do out here.
I got it.
For those wondering, she's
I've
talking.
learned so much out here. I can be fake AF. So yes, invite them around. I love them so much.
For those wondering, she's talking about my mama. So took my mama to
I am
London
not.
and
That
Paris
is
and
a-
Oh my
Barcelona.
God.
For
That's
the
a
first
harder
time.
hit. That was a harder hit for me because mamas love me. So that was a
My
harder
mama
hit
don't
for
like
me.
nobody. My mom, I told you, I posted a picture of me thanking my mom for the sacrifices she making, putting her job on the line because we lived in Illinois and I went to school in Missouri, and just making sure that I got the best education possible. And as an adult, I realized everything she had to do for me to be successful. And I just wanted to let her know I truly appreciate it and I love you. My mom responded back, K.
That's the truth. That's a true story.
K?
K.
Like the letter K? Did she at least spell it out?
Letter K.
Letter
I remember
K. I posted it on Instagram. And I was like, this is why I'm talking to this heifer.
But so
Oh, I
meanwhile,
remember that.
while we were in London,
Listen.
she gave me the longest, most like affectionate and
She was
affirming speech.
So sweet to you. Like you were the one that was married to her son. She was so fucking
She
sweet
wasn't a
to
threat.
you. And we're not talking.
She wasn't a
we're
threat. That
going
wasn't a threat.
to do an episode on in-laws, so I don't even want to ruin it
I'm
all
gonna fly
right now.
out here for that one. I'm
Oh,
gonna fly her and
man.
Vail out here for that episode.
yeah.
I hate
That's
I'm gonna
gonna
miss
be
that.
good.
I'm gonna be on there. I'll be there, like
It's
commenting.
What to say?
I'm gonna be commenting.
We need you there because, as you see, we need
I
you a
wanna be-
buffer when the in-laws are involved.
Listen,
I can't be around my mama for too long. They
He
would
can't.
trade. They would trade, and they would tag me out. Her, Dana, and my little sister would tag me out because I'd be like, Imogene, the repeating yourself, and you're a close talker, but you didn't brush after you had coffee.
Or the time she was here when both of our moms were in, and I had to give my mom like a pep talk, like, hey, it's small doses for him and his mom, so we're gonna have to be a buffer. So my mom was on her best behavior. I had never seen Val
Be this.
be so well behaved.
Yeah.
Listen,
Val is a hot mess, literally
you
all
know,
the time.
I just don't do well
And
with a lot
so-
of people. It's so crazy to me that
Yes.
people think that comics are like just these cheerful people all the time. We're not, bro. It takes a lot to fucking think of the shit that we're doing, and then we might be part of 6 or 7 different podcasts, and then just maintaining like it's a lot to manage. All of those expectations, our own feelings and stuff like that. I get tired and burnt out, and so she knows that, thankfully.
And I
but
have a bigger threshold
Oh,
for
she do.
bullshit than you do.
I am so fucking zero fucks.
Yes.
Like I will cut a motherfucker off like a loose thread on a pair of jeans. I don't play that shit.
He
I have no
taps
time
out.
for. Oh man,
Yeah. He taps out long before I'm like, okay,
I fire
can't
people
anymore.
and hire people the same day for jobs. I have no
Yeah.
time for the bullshit because I'm very
no comments.
transparent with what I need and what I
We're
need
the
done.
same.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
do it,
I have
man.
I
No
have
comment.
a bigger threshold, especially if I'm doing it like if I'm doing it in support of someone else. Like for him, I was like, I need to be there for him, so my threshold
It's bigger.
is bigger. Like if I was doing it for me, I'll tap out on myself
Yeah.
in a heartbeat. It's like, look,
It's like she's trying to quit the show, guys. So
I
just
am
be
not
able to-
trying to quit this show. Why do you keep saying that?
Stop bringing
Why do you
up
keep
old
saying
present
that?
shit.
Why do you
Old
keep saying
present
that?
shit?
No, lean in, share your piece.
Old present shit is funny.
Old present shit, that is funny. And I'm still engaged. You heard it here first, folks. Stop with old present shit. But no, say your piece. I feel like you got something on your heart. Share it with us. No, it's something on your heart.
All right, well, fuck
I'll
it then.
say
If you're
it.
asking it,
Yes.
Fran's supposed to be walking away from her job, right? And we're trying to get her to the point where she can get a fan base up so
Yes.
she can walk away from job. That's one of the
All
reasons
true.
she got the sleeve so
Stop
she can.
touching me.
You know what I'm saying?
Finish
she got
your
the
little
sleeve,
story.
Your sleeve is
see,
cute,
you saw she
sis.
said little trying to minimize my point. The point is
Because you don't
for
have
her
one.
to
Partial
be able to
sleeve.
walk away from it, she has to get more involved with the posting and the shows and all of that type of stuff.
I've
And
been
she's
doing things.
she is a
I've
very
been legit
detailed
doing things.
oriented person, so
Perfectionist.
she has to have it.
I've
there,
reached out to our producer and I'm like, yo, I want to be on the schedule every 2 weeks so we can like make sure things are happening. Like I need some structure because I know how I am and how I operate. Like I need to play to my strengths but also understand my weaknesses. And I know what my weaknesses are. So now I'm like, yo, it's like clockwork every 2 weeks so that it forced me to do things and be ready and be on my shit and I'm fucking doing it, but I'm trying to keep you out of it because you only did this because you wanted as little as possible to do with inner workings. So I didn't tell you shit. I just wanted to be able to tell you the dates. So Farron is legit, folks.
Out here
Listen.
doing it.
Out here getting it.
So we're going to
okay?
seasons. We're going
So
to seasons. and
we
stuff.
may or may not. It's still up in the air. It's a work in
You just made
progress.
that speech for
Things
no
are
damn reason.
still
Yeah, the back
things are
strong.
still flexible.
This is an illusion.
They-
This is an illusion.
I said what I.
Things are like
Get
we're
me.
flowing. We're flowing.
The
We're
words
doing
were
great.
great.
I wanted,
They
I,
were
wanted to
coming
say,
out of my
I
mouth.
wanted to say something that Tahir had touched on about being an entertainer and being a person that's out there in the public. People don't understand when you're an extrovert, introvert. That means we're extroverted because we have to be. We're in front of a camera, you're in front of a microphone.
100% him.
But when we go back, because you give so much energy to the world, when you go back home into your safe space, into your peace space, you have to rejuvenate. Dana would tell you, I will go into my house, lock the door, and be like, fuck the world. Because
Yeah.
it takes so much to be Sir Irvin Williams. It takes so much publicly. When I go home, I'm reading a book, I'm
It's the
quiet.
sir that's the heaviest.
The
if you
Sir
guys were
Irvin
wondering.
James Williams the third, to be exact.
This
Put
nigga
that on
started
the-
going by this 7 years ago, and I was like, I gotta change.
No.
Nah, it's been about
way
13,
long.
14.
It's been
It's been a
it
while,
wasn't in
yeah.
it's
college,
been
nigga.
18
It
years.
wasn't in college, and I
2002.
changed.
It would have had to
I
be.
changed. No, babe, it wasn't. It
It
wasn't.
was.
It wasn't. It
It
wasn't when
was.
we first met, Irvin.
It was.
Not when you had the green Mazda. It wasn't. Your name was Irvin Williams,
I met you when I had the Delta 88.
and then you had the Mazda. Because we rode the Mazda to the fucking stone statues.
Oh, I met you with Bo because I crashed the Delta 88 and then got
yeah,
the
and then you got the Mazda because we was going to the movie set in the Mazda.
Facts.
Yeah.
I'm not, I
Sidebar.
wasn't part of their lives during this story, so I don't give a
Sidebar.
shit. Can
Tahir
we move
and I
on?
did our
That
first
is,
feature film together.
Free me as well.
Also, so we
I've
all
never been.
Dana
We
and
did our
I are
first one
together.
together.
in
I'm not
a-
even gonna
Delta
tell
not
88
caredom.
or a Mazda.
Is that a word? Not caredom. Can
That
you
is
Google
not,
that?
That's not a word. It's not a fucking
That's not
word.
a word.
I'm gonna call it.
I'm not
sis,
even gonna
that's
bring
a
it up
word.
because I don't want
Thank
people to
you.
Google it.
Thank you, Dana.
Yeah, that's how I'm glad they kept talking so they don't.
Yeah, I ain't gonna bring it up. I don't want people to Google it.
But I have the movie and I have the soundtrack.
What movie?
Listen,
What
we
movie?
can't tell
So
you.
listen.
Is that the one with Lil
I'll
Fizz
flip
is
this
in it?
whole
No,
podcast
Raz B.
table over.
Raz
Tell
B.
me this.
Lil Fizz is
So
in
the
it?
story is,
No,
so
it's
the
Raz
story,
B.
I was, I'm laughing because of the job I was doing. That's how young I was. I used to work at this restaurant called Mama Rini's Chicago Style
I
Hot Dogs.
remember.
Amazing. These people, I love them to this day. They bailed me out of jail. That's a whole nother story. Anyway,
Irvin has been in jail.
He
a lot.
yada
Stick a
yada.
pen in that.
Why he
that
yada
jail
yada through
Yada,
all
yada,
these
yada.
times I've been in jail?
so
Irvin's been
the
in
radio
jail a
station
lot.
come on,
We
right?
both been in jail.
Right? And you say, what?
I said we both been in jail.
Hey, yo. you-
Irvin, I know you old. Were you around for like during the sit-ins with the?
No, but I was there for the first ship to come over. motherfucker.
I've always been the friend that bails everybody out. I'm not going
Rob,
to jail.
I mean, Tahir never gets in trouble.
Nah,
Tahir
lawyers.
never gets in trouble.
I don't get in trouble. I get in situations. That's
You
the
get
thing.
arrested,
I
nigga.
get in trouble because of other people. I went to jail because of my sister.
Oh, yeah, that's understandable.
Well,
That's your
kinda.
sister.
I
But
spent
yeah.
most of my time getting locked up as a juvenile. I was only locked up maybe 3 or 4 times as an adult.
How many times as a juvenile you would look?
I was like at least 10 or 12
Warn you,
times.
this is
Listen,
before
you
we found the
delinquent.
Lord.
This is, I mean, again, thinking I grew up in the third ward. Like you just
Let's
you
just assume
first of
everyone
all,
in St. Louis has been locked up.
At least
Except for
once.
me.
You
I'm always
slip
the
and
person
fall
that
on
everyone
a-
calls.
you slip and fall on a felony.
Listen,
growing up in the
you
third
shoot
ward.
one, maybe
Slip
two
and fall
people.
on a
Right.
felony?
They consider you a criminal.
Even if it was self-defense, it was like, well, he was in here, Your Honor.
Where
You
did this
invited him in.
conversation
I
go?
had no
Touche.
idea all this weight was in the trunk. That's ridiculous. I don't even know what weight is.
Listen,
It's funny because it's true.
I've had, oh my God, we've so many friends have got
Because of
locked up with me.
circumstance.
Facts.
Y'all stay focused. This is what I be talking about. So
You can't invite 3 motherfuckers on your show with
I know.
ADHD.
I knew this was gonna happen. That's why I
Yeah.
was like, I'm working too hard.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm working too hard. What was
This
the
is-
question? Focus us back.
It's a new question.
focus
Focus
us,
us
focus us
back.
back. Can you Google that? Is that proper?
Is that the proper term? Focus us back.
So apparently the like not liking the partner's friends is like a big deal, a big question on the interwebs. Cause just in thinking about you guys, when he told me y'all was coming and he was like, oh, I made reservations at blah blah blah, are you coming? And I was like, I got other plans, but fuck yeah, I'm gonna be there. Like
Yeah.
I'll just leave that shit early and come.
Yeah.
I see these people all the time.
Like, right? Like I was very excited to see y'all, but it led me to think of how I'm not always excited to see.
And I want to say
so-
this too. It takes work on both sides because I had to be willing to share my relationship with them with her because I was very protective of them and I was very protective of what we had. I was very selfish with the two and didn't want a lot of people in. So there were times where Dana might have been having something at our house, and we were when we first got back together, and I'd be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go over to Dana's house," versus inviting her to go with me because I was so protective of what we had. I didn't want to jeopardize it in my mind by bringing somebody around that might not work. It might clash, and now it's like I'm in a weird space of like, who do I choose? Who do I be loyal to? And so it became. I mean, obviously, everybody in this room is dope as hell, but it also became a change of perspective. Like, she is an extension of me, and if they accept me, then they're going to accept her because she is very reflective of my work ethic, very reflective of my ideas, of my integrity and my stance on a lot of things in life. So if they fuck with me, they gotta fuck with her because she is basically a mirror image of that. We might say things in a different tone and a different way, but we're on the same page. So getting more comfortable in who she was to me helped me change the perspective on how they would accept and embrace her.
Because I
I'd
wasn't
like to
even
add to
brought.
that,
Sorry, real
Go
quick.
ahead.
I wasn't even brought around you guys. Even though, I mean, hell, we started messing around in 2005. I wasn't actually brought around y'all until like 2010, 2012.
Was it that late?
Yeah,
It was.
It
Like,
was,
we
like
saw
within a
each
year of the
other
Yeah, and like
at
passing.
Harris Stowe, but he
Yeah.
didn't actually introduce me and
Yeah.
let me know who you were to him
Yeah.
Yep.
until a lot later. And so around like 2010 or so, he invited me to a show he had and you guys were there. And then it was like, this is who they are, but it still wasn't a hangout.
Yeah.
And so 2012, I think Dana had
My
Super Bowl. No, Super Bowl party.
yeah.
Oh, that
And
was a long
it was-
time
Yes.
ago. Damn.
So it was
And
like
it was
the
dope.
year we decided to actually be together and like we had that conversation about like, yo, I think it was already we already said that I was moving to LA with him. Like all these things were already talked about and decided that it was like, oh, the Super Bowl parties happening. And it was also one in my aunt's house. And so he made it his business to like, yes, let's go here to Dana's
both.
and then we'll go to your aunt's. Like he made that.
Yeah,
That-
he's a good dude like that.
Yeah. And so it was a while though. I knew of y'all. I knew who y'all were to him, but I didn't know.
I didn't
you
want
all.
to bring anybody around that I didn't know was going to be around because I didn't want them to take a liking to someone and then me and that person stopped talking, and now this person's coming around because she done made cool with Dana, or she done made cool with Irvin. No. That's my goddamn friend. You get the fuck up out of here,
On
okay?
the other side of it, and the real part of it, I put people out of both of their houses.
These are facts.
So like,
How so? Tell us more.
They was on some bullshit.
Tell us more.
I was on some bullshit.
They was on some bullshit.
Okay, so
Oh, she was like, get it right.
No, I'm saying they on some bullshit.
So you know, the other side of that is I don't hide my words or my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, I love you, but I don't have to have you in my space.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean I wish any ill will towards you or anything. I will tell you, listen, I understand you came with this person. Do you have a ride?
Yeah.
You may not be here.
Yeah.
I do not want you in my space. I do not mind telling people that. And I've said it.
Oh,
and,
that's good.
And I'm
Yeah.
out of line a lot of times with not at my house, but at their house.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
And
not out of line because they back me up, but I've absolutely put people out of his house and his house.
But here's the thing
You
about it.
can't be
It ain't
here.
even that she's out of line. Here's the thing about it. We so laid back and chill that if you ever see one of us out of pocket, it's the other person.
It is.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
That's
saying?
for
We
sure.
not coming in the door to start nothing with anybody.
Right.
What happens is that people find out the hard way. We not them motherfuckers that we gon' jip and jab with.
Let me tell
Right.
you something. Her family came to town one time and had her out late as fuck. She came in the house. They loud, drunk, smoking. Hey, y'all gotta calm the fuck down. The kids sleep. I pulled us aside. I'm like, you all right?
Yeah.
What the fuck going on with this
It
shit?
was
He was like,
bad.
we was like, yo, man, hey, go upstairs, man. We'll talk
Yeah.
tomorrow. Cause I don't play that shit. Like
He
when
told
I
the
Really?
rest of them, get the fuck out.
gotta
I
go.
don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck y'all did
This-
with her tonight.
Yeah.
But this ain't her.
Y'all are just talking about me, and I was like, when have I
No,
ever?
no. This is
Yes,
her
yes,
friends from out of town. They
Yep.
came in. And all loud, and they had her smoking. I was like, "You been smoking?" And
I
she was like,
smoked
"Smoking."
that
I was like,
night.
"Hey, man, go upstairs. We'll talk tomorrow."
Yeah.
Like, y'all gotta
Yeah.
get the fuck up out
Yeah.
of
It's
here.
like it smelled like Black and Miles.
Yo,
in this
Black
y'all gotta
and
get the
Miles.
fuck
Really?
about.
It
I'm
was
so
beneath
protective
you.
of my
It
people.
was upsetting.
Like,
Yeah,
I
he
don't
is.
play that
He
shit.
really-
and so,
he
like
really
you said,
and he gave me
because
the speech of my life the next day.
I believe
Can
it.
I?
Like
It's
you
not
say-
that I'm angry.
when
I'm disappointed.
we don't yell. We don't really like. Even when Danny going, like she'll get quiet. She'll bring you in. You know what I'm saying? So when you see one of us like that, you know it's a thing. Like even Farron, we just got to the point where she's understanding and accepting that I don't yell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
I
we
don't
would get
yell
into
either.
it, and I'm talking like I see what you're saying, but like, and she took that as a lack of concern
Like
and
dismissive.
investment.
Unless the kid,
And, yeah,
like
like I didn't care. Like
Yeah.
she literally said, "I don't know if you would fight for us because I didn't raise my voice." It was like, "Yo, when I get
Yeah.
quiet like that,
I'm
I would
quiet.
kill for you."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's
I'm
an
not the
actual
type of
thing.
person.
Yes.
I don't
I
do a
get
whole
into
lot
it
of lip
Going
talk.
back.
Yeah.
Relationships about that
It
too.
took
Yeah.
it took a while because I also so I won't. Well, I can say it here and I'll just repeat it later. But because I would definitely want to do an episode on it, that I had my own issues with anxiety that was disguised as passion. And so I'm thinking I'm this emotional, passionate person, and it's like if I'm dealing with somebody who doesn't have the same passion and
can't
the
care.
same like you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like
not the
no,
case.
that's not the case.
Yeah.
That's not it.
And now because of where I am in my own mental health, I hate calling shit journeys, but in my own mental health journey,
That's
in my
true.
own mental health journey, I see things differently now, and it's like, yo, this man has shown me multiple
Yes.
times
Consistently. Yeah.
how he would fight for me, how he cares, and all these things. But because it wasn't displayed in the way that I
Right.
understood,
It didn't look like you wanted it
when
to
we
look.
were out to eat, and he was like, "Girl, fuck you," and he was like, "That's the only thing she understands." He's like, it's funny, but it's like also true. It's like sometimes I only understand it if you give it to me like in a rough way. Then it's
Yeah.
like, I'm paying attention now. You be too soft, and I'm like,
But do you think
I
that's
You just tell me what I want to hear. You too nice. I'm just telling me what I want to hear.
It's like
Yeah.
if you're not yelling at me, I don't think that you. I don't. It's not. I don't hear it. If you
Yeah.
don't yell at me, you don't call me names. If you're not disrespectful towards me, the fact that I want to sit down and have like a respectful conversation, let's talk about how you feeling. Let's talk about how you want to plan this. Let's talk about. He's like, you don't care. All the other girls that he's been with before smashed his windows out.
Cut tires.
yell, call the police on. I'm like, listen here.
No.
You don't have to raise your voice. I'm as a matter of fact, raising your voice absolutely
Shut
fucks
me
up the
down.
whole situation because
Yeah.
I don't hear shit after you get a certain
And you
octave.
know what? I used to not be that way, and I was in like an emotionally, verbally abusive relationship for a minute, and like this person only knew how to operate like just yelling and
that.
screaming. Like it was the worst, most anxiety-inducing shit.
Yeah.
And I dealt with it, but even though I was not that person, like my entire life, it was like, I don't know how to read you. Like, you so nonchalant. You
Yeah.
so chill. Like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know how to feel. I don't know anything. And I'm like, that's the way I like it.
Right.
But I get with this person who's always on 100. And so it was like, you know what? You're not going to keep treating me like this. I'm
Yeah.
going to meet you there so you can see
It became a
my
defense mechanism.
calmness
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
not just me being passive.
Yeah.
It's me not having time for your bullshit.
Yeah.
But I can be there.
But-
And I started doing it regularly, dealing with this energy, and then it just stayed with me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Even
because
after that,
you
so
were
I'm
in,
sorry
you
you
were
went
in
through that.
survival
I'm
mode.
really sorry.
Yes.
You
You
did
were-
that.
so I'ma
Yeah.
tell you
And I
this.
did not realize that shit. And once it hit me, I was like,
Yep.
this is not even you. Like, you do not operate this way. But it took for me to do some shit that I've said a million times, like, I don't embarrass easy.
Yeah.
And so it took for me to like come undone and then reflect on it. It was like, yo, that was I embarrassed the fuck out of myself. Like, that is unacceptable, and I will never do that shit again. And once I realized that, I was like, this is where this is the point
Yeah.
where
This
this
the
all
button.
started.
We're always in
And-
training. As a people, we're
Yes.
always in training.
I love
and
that.
we're always in training. So the minute you like stuck to that's what you do, that's what you do, that's what you do, then of course you're gonna take it into the next level, into the next situation because
Yeah.
you've trained yourself to do so. So when we have to train ourselves out of those behaviors,
Absolutely.
that's,
And when
that's
you-
a whole thing.
And when you, like my grandmother used to say all the time, when you are a person who operates in chaos and there's no chaos going on, you were
create it.
created simply so you
create
can
it.
survive. And so
In
a
a
lot of
big way.
people have been raised by parents. We were talking about this the other day about how some of our parents weren't taught to communicate. They had three forms: shut down, curse you out, or violence. And what happens
That's
is
true.
you raise an entire generation who operates in that. So what happens, you become, like I was saying last show, you in complete survival mode. You're already on the defense, ready to fight because you know everybody in your family, when they get upset, they attack. And when you are so used to people attacking you, you always going to be on the defensive end. It's like Tyre was saying earlier.
6.
Like he was saying earlier, is that you know when people not brought from the same stock of us, and when you're so used to just being in survival mode. I had this quote that say, "My mama taught me how to defend myself. She never taught me how to let my guards down." You get what I'm saying? So
That's
my
a true
whole
thing.
life I've been fighting.
That's all I know how to do is
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah, I laugh with my sister because sometimes we just joke about how, like, we, even in talking about domestic violence situations and stuff, it was like, yo, we're blessed to not have come across some men who would actually put hands on us because we would not shut up. You hitting me is not going to make me shut up. So you would have to kill me or I would have to kill you.
Yeah.
Like, because I was like, all I was taught was to come
Go.
at you.
Yeah.
Like, that's all we know. We're a very shoot first, ask questions later people.
Yeah.
So we could be dead wrong, but we've already attacked your entire being, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
So like it just like became this thing that at first I used to think, like, oh, that's the sign that I'm strong and I can hold my own. And I'm
You're a strong
okay
black
out
woman.
these in
I'm
these
a
streets.
winner.
And
I'm
if you
okay
can't
out
take
here in
me
these
like
streets.
this, you don't
And
need me.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then it was like, yo, now, I mean, even now I think about it, it's like I'm just tired of being strong and on attack mode. Like, I just want to be delicate and just carry me from room to room. I don't want to sit in this
How you
chair
want to carry
anymore.
you
So
Slink
that's
back
just
in.
like I think so
Just
that's
carry me from room to room. I don't want to sit in this chair anymore. Can you
But
pick
look
me
at
up
the
and
sleep
put me
on.
in the
Right.
other room,
That's
in
a
the other
completely
chair? Like,
different
I just-
conversation, sis. Like
Yo.
I think even if you are a peaceful person, unfortunately, when you are like an alpha female, I think that's something that needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
When you're an alpha female, it
Yes.
is not
That
expected
is on the
of
topic
you.
list.
It's
Yes.
like you are constantly being offended. Like people are coming at you
Yes.
because they're like, oh, you can handle it.
Yep.
That's cool. You good.
Yes.
Yeah.
You good. You strong.
Yeah,
Yes.
you
You
can
know what I
take it.
mean? You can take it.
And sometimes even as being an alpha female, like sometimes you just don't want to have to be strong for like just give me 30 minutes to just be
I'm about to piss a lot of people off by saying this. Not even just being
Wilted.
alpha female, just being a fucking
female. Yes.
Like real
just
talk.
give me
I'm a female, and I'm so in love with being a female
Yes.
because I don't want to do the shit that men do.
Facts.
right.
I don't want to be the one that has to be
You
strong.
know, I joke with him, and I
She
said
knows
that I
coming.
would never say it on camera, but I'm gonna say it this one time.
Now I gotta hear it.
But I tell him, I'm like, do this for me. I'm not a feminist. I don't believe in equality. Like, do this for me. Can you please?
It's so heavy. It's
Can
so
you?
heavy.
Oh, this is. It's too heavy. Please, can you get it?
I'm not a feminist. I'm a womanist.
Yeah.
I'm a womanist.
I don't believe in
there's a difference.
feminism. I
But-
don't want equality. Open my door. Take out the trash.
I want equality
Do
for
all
those
the
who want it.
things.
I want equality for those who want it. I don't.
Yes.
I want the right to weld for women who want it.
Yes.
Personally,
I
I don't want to weld.
Yes.
I don't want to weld. I don't want to be a mechanic.
Yes.
But if you want to woman, I will fight
have
for
my
that
full
for you.
support.
You have
Yeah.
my full support. I will fight for that for you.
Yeah.
So I'm a
Absolutely.
womanist for sure.
Absolutely. So I want to read this really quick, and then go over like this person's response. So, within the topic, the theme of today, even I know we've gotten sidetracked, but get over yourselves, you guys. We do every episode. Crosswalk.com, I saw this kind of like, question answer thing. Dr. David is the author. Dr. David B. Hawkins was asked, Dear Dr. David, I have been dating my boyfriend for the past 2 years. This chair is so loud, right?
Yeah, it is.
I hate it. And we have a fantastic relationship. We enjoy the same activities, share the same values and goals in life, and have a common faith. But there is one problem we fight about again and again, his friends. For the life of me, I can't understand what my boyfriend sees in his friends. They are rougher than he is, tend to be coarse in their language, and don't have the same goals and values my boyfriend and I have. When I point this out to him, he gets angry. When I show him the negative impact they are having on his life, he gets offensive. This one area of our lives has become the stumbling block to us getting married. I love my boyfriend very much, and like everything about his life except for his old friends. When I think about our future together, I can't imagine his friends being a part of it. When he thinks of our future together, he can't think of it without his friends. There seems to be no point of compromise. Can you help us sort this out?
Yeah.
I got
let me
lots
say
of
that right.
With
Signed,
everybody
worried
else.
about our future.
Worried about
First of all,
future.
she shouldn't have a future with a motherfucker like that. First of
No,
all,
Irvin, that's
she's
not
No,
true.
no. Let me finish. Don't cut me off.
Go
I'm about to
ahead.
say this. First of all, she's not mad at him. She's
It's
mad
him
that
and
she's
him, right?
No, it's her. It's her and him.
Okay.
It's a her
She's
and him.
mad that she's dating the deacon and not the pastor because it sounds like she's dating a beta male and he has alpha friends. If he's a grown ass man, his friends can influence him to do negative things towards her or do all this shit. Yeah, she dating the deacon and she want to be dating the pastor. It's simple as
Ooh.
that.
That's not what I heard.
That's what I heard.
That's not what I heard either.
That's
What did
not
you hear,
I
Dana?
heard. I heard that he has friends who have different personality traits from him, and what she doesn't understand is what they have in common.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what I hear is concern. I'm concerned that he is this person with me, and then when he's with this person, with these people, he's a completely different person. His friends, and this is just an example, his friends cheat on their wives. Does he cheat on his girlfriend when he's with these friends? And what I hear her saying is they don't have anything in common. Why is he with this person?
But she also says that they
Why
have
is it-
influences over him to make him do
But
negative things.
what the influences that she's talking about though is like basically going out with these people when he doesn't normally go out.
No,
You know
she
what
didn't say that.
She didn't say that, but that's what I hear. Influences over his life, not really, because if that's the case, she wouldn't be in it.
But did she call them thug friends? Did I hear something about that?
No, you didn't hear
Nah,
the
she
word
said
thug.
they
I think you
talk
made that up.
coarse.
They speak coarse,
yeah,
like they
speak
curse,
coarse, yeah,
and he don't.
See,
Yeah,
No,
what
none
did
of
you
that.
hear, babe?
Yeah, what did you hear?
What do you think?
I heard someone that is concerned with the caliber of their partner's friends, and that could be exactly what Dana said. It also could be what Irvin said. It could just be like, you don't like them the way that she may see the way that they treat him like a beta. Like, oh man, shut your ass up, right? While the rest of them are slapping five and shit like that. And she doesn't like the way that they treat him. But if he is a beta, he's not gonna stand up for himself.
Right.
And she's gonna be mad at him forever. So she either has to make do with the fact that he is not that type of person, or he's gonna have to make do with the fact that she wants to help him see that he's bigger than who he has been being.
Yeah.
So is a beta a person that's not going to stand up for themselves, or just a nonchalant?
A beta
They
could
can
be
be passive. They can be
passive.
They can be passive.
They fall inferior to the alpha. They would fall in line. They would do what the alphas
I wouldn't say that because that's a harsh word. I would say they have a different level of strength than the alpha male. And what happens
that's
is
what I think too. I think that too. Like if I'm with my friends and I don't want to go out per se, but I also don't want to end the evening because I haven't been with my friends in so long, then I'll go out. And it's not because they have this power over me. It's because my preference is to spend more time with my friends, even if it's something I don't want to do.
And I have two questions too for that because her title was girlfriend, not wife. That's number one. So she damn sure can't pick and choose or try to manipulate what friends he have in his life. But number two, is she one of those women too that her dude can't do nothing without her? Because you have women like that too.
That's
like
true.
if he's trying to just go and kick it with his boys, she's like, you won't never do nothing with me. We supposed to watch Housewives today. She could be one of them
Why
women
was
too.
she a slave?
I don't know. That's
That was
sold
the
on-
voice, wasn't it?
Why was she a slave?
See,
in
I
this
don't know.
scenario?
I read
reading a lot
something
into
a bit
this.
different. Right. We are like adding context to this story. But I don't know. I read that basically she doesn't like who they are as people, and she questions whether or not her boyfriend has more in common with them and
That's
is
what I
more
heard.
aligned
That's
with
what I heard.
them than
with her.
what
Then what she
he's-
sees,
what
he
he's
shows to her.
showing her.
That makes sense.
She's afraid that
So
he's being the
it's like
representative.
you can't let go of them, even though they're, from her point of view, outside looking in, they're different than
So
you.
are you like them?
So are you one of them? And it's like
And the answer
basically,
is no.
prove to me, are you actually what you've displayed to me, or are you actually what you?
No.
But do you
that
want to
you're
marry
friends.
somebody? Do you want to move forward with somebody that you don't know?
I
Yeah.
mean,
Because she
no.
said she want to. She said she want to get married to this man eventually.
Yeah, she did.
My thing
but
is,
no.
why are you micromanaging this person's personality?
That's what I'm saying.
So, like, as far as I'm concerned, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
listen, if whomever he is with you is absolutely who he's been consistently. Now, you don't like who he is when he's with the boys. When you're with the boys, everybody has all these personalities that's coming out, and a lot of times, and personally, none of my friends and I have characteristics in common. Like that's that's a real thing. I mean, even some of the people I've dated were polar opposites. No, I'm not a boring person, but I would say I'm kind of boring.
You kind of bored.
I'm kind of boring.
Ooh,
We were
look
talking
at the
about.
pots.
Calling them.
I know.
Oh.
So
The
that's something that the
cattle.
three of us actually
No,
have in
he's
common.
not boring,
That
no.
introverted extrovert. I'm an introvert with extroverted ambition. Okay, I know for a fact when I get to my house or wherever the hell I am, I don't have to be the center of attention. I can go sit in the back, read my book.
Right, same thing.
Yeah,
he goes
I'm
through. It's like
so
when I'm at home, I
happy.
don't have to. I can.
Even right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, the conversation is flowing so well. I know some people in the comments when this actually airs, they're like, why is he not talking? It's like, they're making great points. And if I have nothing to add to the conversation that's going to further it, or I don't have a difference of opinion or something like that, I don't have to weigh in necessarily until I do have that, or
Right.
until I'm asked a question, because it's flowing. I don't want to interrupt the flow. Just like,
Just
yeah,
for the
and-
sake of
and
talking.
I think Irvin's right.
Yeah. That's gonna be the clip that they
Period.
cut.
Period.
Period.
That's it.
Amira, you
Nothing else
cut
to add.
that promo. Put
Just-
that. I
just-
think he's right.
I don't like when
That's
people
it.
I don't like when people do that. Like I'm not one of
Yeah,
those people that just
absolutely.
feels like
Yeah.
Kev always gets on me about that in the group chat. You don't ever be talking in the group chat. I will when we talk about something that I have something to add to.
Yeah.
If I don't have anything to add to, I'm just reading it and I'm taking
But
it all
then
in.
also he
I'm
only
like that with
checks
group chats,
in
too.
every 3 days. It's a group chat with me
First-
and like some family members, some cousins and stuff, and it's like I just have it on mute and I just tune in every once in a while. They talked about
I'm
going
like that
bowling
with-
today. FaceTime me in when y'all go bowling, and then that's
We
all I
all
got to
like
say.
that. We pick
Yeah,
up
I don't really
conversations
rock with
from
it.
a week ago. Like, I didn't know about this. I was like, Dana, I had no idea y'all was talking about a podcast. None of that came through. I answered
That
something
is-
that was 30 minutes.
He has
No,
an
it's not
Android
that-
though,
And I'm
we
proud of it.
have,
Android called me. I
It's
will
not that it didn't
definitely
come
go.
through. He
That
just
part.
missed that part
But
of the line.
real quick, I just want to read what Dr. David had to say, and I want y'all opinion on that.
Look. The first time to hear is quiet. Somebody just put that.
Tanya, or don't do my bait. He can be quiet if he want to.
I'll put it-
Somebody just put that in there.
I'm sorry.
But so Dr. David says, "Dear worried, your letter illustrates an old truth. When we share our lives with someone, we become involved with an entire family, not just a person. As I share in my book, Are You Really Ready for Love? When dating, we don't just get involved with a person in isolation. We become involved with their past, present, and of course their future.
Right.
Several issues jump out at me about your note worthy of consideration. First, is it possible you're making too big a deal
Yep.
about his friends? Look inside yourself for possible problems before looking at him. For example, do you need to ask for more time from him, or are you not getting the attention you'd like? Discern exactly what is missing for you and then ask for change in the relationship as opposed to asking him to give up his friends. That hit me in a tender spot. Second, you say you have the same values and goals, and yet if you don't care for your boyfriend's friends, perhaps there are some areas you're overlooking. If indeed your boyfriend has questionable friends, is there something about your boyfriend you're overlooking? Is it possible he has some of the same character traits as his friends and you've ignored them? If so, step back and take a longer look. Make sure there aren't some traits in your boyfriend you need to attend to.
Damn,
just-
Dr. Dave.
Yeah.
Walk away from. Dr. Dave is like coming with a
Did he drop-
hard-hitting question.
Yeah, did he drop the mic in it?
No. Dr.
Mic
Dave
drops in
has 3
parentheses.
more points.
Oh,
Damn.
Third, criticizing your
enough, Dr.
boyfriend's
Dave.
friends is never acceptable. You can't expect your boyfriend to hear your concerns if you approach him in a critical way.
Yeah.
These people have been his friends for a long time, and criticizing them will only make your boyfriend defensive.
Correct.
Fourth, try making friends with his friends. It is unclear from your note as to whether you've tried to include his friends in your life. If you haven't, you're really painting yourself into a corner. Trying to separate him from his friends will leave you the odd one out.
Yep.
Also, remember, they may be as unsure about you as you
you
are
are.
about them.
Damn, Dr.
Be inclusive,
Yeah.
seeking to discover what he appreciates about his friends.
I appreciate what he said because if you get to know his friends a little bit more, you'll find what your partner finds that he loves.
Right, right.
And even if you don't like it, you can see why he likes
Right.
it.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
yeah,
I see why-
I
I
get
see
all
why
the
Jermaine cool.
right.
Yeah.
I get all the hullabaloo. Right.
the
Finally,
hullabaloo.
step back, take a breath, and talk in a rational way about your concerns. Share your honest feelings, being specific about your concerns. If you're afraid your boyfriend will act out in certain ways, ask for reassurance that he won't do so. If you're afraid he'll treat you in hurtful ways, share your need for reassurance about that. Seek points of agreement and resolution rather than points of difference. Find ways to allow him his point of view while honoring yours in return.
He said a lot in there. and
He
that is-
said a lot, and all
he
of
hit him with the
them
bullets.
are like amazing points.
Yeah, he
I
hit him
just
with
would have been
bullets.
like, okay, number one, Dr. Dave said, I'm
Right.
making too big of a deal.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
are you worthy of my boyfriend's friendship?
I think
I would go so far as to be like, let's do lunch.
Let's do lunch.
Me,
with
just
with
me and
those
you.
eyes, with those eyes.
Just me and you.
she's done it
Let's
before.
do lunch.
I've done it.
She's done it before.
First,
There's another thing.
we would talk later.
Another thing that he
'Cause I
said
wanna
in there is if you try to spend some time with them one-on-one, you might find out what your partner finds in that person.
Yeah.
You know, they might come over his house because you don't engage much and you guys aren't married yet. And they can like let their head down and talk crazy.
Yeah.
If you hang out with a one-on-one, you might be hanging out with him like, I'm sorry, this is my wife real quick, or this is my kid's school. And through that conversation, they on the phone, you like, oh, this motherfucker really cares about his wife, really cares about his
Right.
family. He's just talking shit over here. you know, you could find that, you know, you just don't know the full story.
The
from
nuances
just,
of that
Yeah,
person.
you seeing a one-dimensional side of that person. So
That's a good point.
Yeah.
A lot of times when
That
you
is a
see
good point.
that's a good point. A lot of times you see us and we're not with our significant others or whatever, then you do get that's a chance for you to kind of like let shit out, get so
Yeah.
she might be experiencing like the aggression, the fed up, the tired,
Because that's the
whatever.
stuff they can display at home at their own individual home.
ain't no
Right.
kids around, so they can actually curse. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They might be the household that doesn't curse in front of the kids. So
Yeah.
they come over there like,
Like
fucking,
with they language.
finally.
Right.
Did she
Man.
Right.
Drop
mention-
the bitch down, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Like,
did she mention if she was
I've
like a
done that.
Mormon in there? Language. I was like,
Is
language.
she the only
She
girlfriend
said
there?
coarse language. too.
Coarse
Coarse.
language.
That
Oh.
that
Is
got
she
me too. I was
67?
like,
Is she watching us? Coarse language. We giving
oh
it
my
all.
god. Okay, so yeah, okay, that was.
And maybe she mean like bitches or something. Maybe they just like. You
But
know.
if that's the case, Tahir is
Ha!
7.
Tahir is married.
We got to take all 7 before we end the show
No,
because that's
no.
what we said we gonna do.
No, we'll do it over this week.
I
We
refuse.
cheating.
We'll do it over this
We
week.
cheating the
It'll
people.
happen.
We'll do it
We
over
gotta
this
give the
week.
people what they want.
Thank y'all
You
so
wanna-
much for
you
watching
wanna-
another episode.
You can't just
You
end
want them
it
to
like
see
that.
us
I
like
bet I will.
fall off the chair.
Right. I
What
bet
I was
will,
saying is
sleep as I
that
am.
there are conversations that I can have with Tahir that even if you were in the room, I would never be in the room calling like that bitch, that hoe, that's a, I don't talk like that
No,
anyway.
please
True
do.
that.
I'm listening.
No, I don't do
Who
that.
are we
I don't
talking
do that.
about?
A list of people.
I'm like, tell me more, Irvin.
But it's
All
just certain
women are not invited
even,
to those conversations.
even with Kels, we don't have coarse conversations because even though she our sister, we still look at her like a lady. You get what I'm saying? And there's certain conversations we don't.
They forget sometimes.
I was about to say, she definitely said earlier, they forget
That's
I'm a
because
girl
she got a dick
sometimes.
bigger than everybody in the room. But that's neither here nor there.
It'll get dark in this motherfucker.
Don't do my sweet baby.
Thank
Don't
you.
do my
Across
sweet
the
baby
corner.
Dana.
Wow.
Don't do my sweet baby Dana. Change the subject right now.
That was it. That was my point. I'm done. Fork.
So friends, listeners, hopefully you're not dealing with this, but if you are, just listen to Dr. Dave.
Why did you put
I wish I had found
Very-
Dr.
That was
Dave.
her mama voice.
She put on the sex
I
therapist.
not
code
dealing with
switch,
this?
so I don't even realize it
What was
anymore.
the sex therapist's name back in the day? Dr. Joyce?
I thought was it Joyce?
It was Dr. Joyce.
No, it was Ruth.
Dr. Ruth.
Dr.
You
Ruth.
was thinking about Joyce Myers.
Joyce was the columnist,
Dang.
not Joyce Myers.
That's who I was thinking
Dr.
about.
Ruth was a little old lady that talked about sex all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so try acceptance. Maybe you're the one that's causing the issue,
I'm
and it's
just
not
saying,
that big
if
of a
it's
deal.
4 of them and 1 of her, and she the only one with the issue.
Law of numbers.
Law of numbers.
Hey yo, I just want to end this real quick by saying this is not only directed towards women. Yes, that's what that example was, but
Yes.
men also have this issue.
Yeah.
And
A lot.
these are also tips that men could take.
Absolutely.
lot.
It's not a fucking pissing contest.
Right.
So
The way your bipolar kicks in. Is amazing. This is also things, man. No, that's not a fucking pissing contest. And coming back.
we call it manic depression. No, I'm joking. I don't know if that's the same thing. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, you guys. So
This is why we can't have friends, people.
this is why we all we got because there's no one else like us.
That's gonna put
It
up with
gets
this
so
bullshit.
dark. It gets so
So
dark
fast,
so fast.
Oh my God, I love you guys. I'm so happy you're here. Okay, so thank you so much. Hopefully you learned something. I always say that. Hopefully you learned something. Why am I pinching my shoulders? Hopefully you learned something, friends. I'm super excited. I'm excited.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
And
I
this has
definitely
been
wanna-
another episode. Oh,
want to
no.
thank our guests for coming in, Sir Irvin James Williams III, Montgomery Bell. Irvin, want to tell them where they can find
Thelonious
you at?
Williams.
You can find me on all social media as Sir Irvin Williams on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I'm even TikToking with the kids.
Oh
His
God!
TikTok
Shut
is
your
doing
old
well.
ass up.
Right.
TikToking with the
You out
children.
there dancing the WAP.
I usually don't be doing it. Wait a minute, motherfucker.
What about you, Kels? What you got for the people?
So you can find me at First Lady. That's one STLADYDANA. So First Lady Dana on all of my handles, Twitter, IG, even Facebook. And that's all I have.
You know
don't
what I thought you was about to
All
say?
I have is Instagram, so don't feel bad for only having
I was about
Facebook
to
and
say,
Instagram.
you can find me in St. Louis. What the thugs play, rain all day. Nah, 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 some got
Don't
do
jobs.
that.
Gotta sell yay.
Others just smoking
No,
much all day.
I
Nah, nah, nah.
don't-
You can.
We ain't got to pay for that, dude.
Do I know this song? Wait a second.
Nah, we didn't do the whole.
I was
we
about
didn't
to
do
shut
the-
y'all down if I didn't know it.
Bell
Don't
Vegas.
sing that song on my show.
They
Do I
didn't
know
play
it?
it in Bell Vegas. You wouldn't know.
They went playing Mel Vegas.
You don't know.
They play It's Not Unusual to Be Loved by Anyone. You see the shape? By anyone.
Thank y'all so much for watching. We'll see you next week on another episode of
More
to the Story.
Story
Peace,
by.
guys.
Oh my God.